Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, listeners worldwide. Welcome in to another edition of the Sunday Sports Rush right here on News Talk KEYS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I'm your host, James Espinosa. I got producer and co-host back there, Adin Ducker.
What's Gucci with it?
And joining us in studio, fresh off of his second semester at the University of North Texas. He's on summer break. It is Alex Weister.
Man, am I glad to be back.
Let's go. We have Weisty in the studio, Adin back there.
Yeah.
The original trio is together again this morning, and we got a pretty packed show for you. Coming up at 9:50, we dive into some Astros, Rangers, and Major League Baseball discussion. At 9:30, we take a look at all things Cowboys, including their schedule release and some news and notes from that franchise up in Dallas. At 9:20, we got some news to discuss. We're going to hit some NHL playoffs. We got a Spurs note and a haunted hotel story that we'll dive into at 9:20. First and foremost, before we get started, would just like to wish a very happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Congratulations, moms. Y'all guys kick ass out there. Keep doing what you are doing. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, and happy Mother's Day to my mother, Annette, out in good old Kingsville, Texas. I love you guys. Happy Mother's Day. If y'all guys want to go for it, go for it.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Adina Garcia Vargas.
There we go.
Get the maiden name in there, so.
Happy Mother's Day to Aiden's mama.
I appreciate you, Mom. You are one of the strongest women probably the strongest woman I know, so, yeah.
Nice.
And I would imagine that my mother is likely out there listening with my father back at home, Cecile Weister. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you will allow me to take you and Dad out to dinner tonight. I know you probably won't, but I'm going to try my best. So happy Mother's Day, Mom.
So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. 361-882-5397. If you're a mom and listening to the show right now,
Watch out for Aiden.
hit us up on the text line. Aiden is desperately trying to talk to you and maybe even meet you. 361-882-5397. Let's go ahead and dive into our first topic of the day. The Lake Show is going to the Western Conference Finals. And let me just say this. We're talking NBA. And before the season started, ladies and gentlemen, we had our NBA season preview. And I would just like to point out that in that NBA season preview,
Oh, boy.
I called it. I told you so. I was right. You were wrong. I said that the Lakers would be in the Western Conference Finals this year. And guess what? I got laughs from Aiden. I got laughs from, I think, Marcos, who was here. I got laughs from Weister. What do you got to say now? The Lakers are in the Western Conference Finals.
I specifically told you the only way they would make it to at least the second round or the Western Conference Finals is if they got rid of Russell Westbrook. You said you didn't say so. So you got half of that right. You said they would make it if Russell Westbrook was still on the roster.
Well, okay.
And to be fair, they would not be here with him on the team.
No, and
he was shooting them out of games.
And you know what? The Lakers did, revamp their roster.
Yes.
Whenever they made the trade away for Russell Westbrook, they gave him away and they brought in some new guys and they revamped the roster. So shout out to them for doing that. And in particular, LeBron James, who in a closeout game had 30 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. It was a magnificent performance from LeBron. And just, some background information, and if you want to weigh in, hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397, or hit us up on Twitter, at SportsRush1440, at Sir Edward James. Me and Alex were in the Valley this weekend. We covered a high school baseball playoff game in McAllen, and we went out to a wing bar that was right next to our hotel, and I told Alex that this is the night that LeBron is going to drop 30. And what happened?
5.
Yes. 30, 10, and 5. And he dropped 39 and 9. I was not far off. Pretty much what I was saying was, tonight LeBron's going to take over and close it out, and they did. And it was pretty awesome, watching that. I am a big LeBron James fan.
Yes,
I always have been. And sometimes y'all guys will confuse me with being a Lakers fan. I am not a Lakers fan.
Yes, you
I
are.
am a LeBron fan.
Oh, you are a Lakers fan, my friend.
There is no recorded proof of this. There is no recorded proof, and I wish I was recording. I heavily recall when I was in the bathroom that night during the game, you said to yourself out loud as a question, am I a Lakers fan? And I said, yes, you are. And you said, yeah, you're right. I am a Lakers fan.
Lies. Lies.
No, that is not lies. I remember that vividly. And no, you cannot blame it on the alcohol because you know I was not drunk.
Like, imagine rooting for the Lakers imagine being a Spurs fan rooting for the Lakers.
Now,
like you're the only Spurs fan I know that's rooting for the Lakers at all.
and why do I got to be boxed into one single team?
Because
The Spurs suck. I'm sorry. We're the home of the Spurs. I love you guys. But y'all guys had a horrible season. Why should I be miserable all year long? I should be allowed to cheer for certain players, and LeBron is one of those players. Now, I've always cheered Spurs against LeBron when they face up, when they match up against each other. It's always Spurs first.
now, even then, you're like, oh, well, at least LeBron won, or at least like in 2013, I was like, oh, it didn't hurt as bad though.
This is a man asking for an open relationship with an organization that has always been strictly loyal. This is disgusting. I can't believe you.
Look, sometimes I like to step out on my teams and maybe cheer for somebody else, man. Come on, look, okay? I don't mind LeBron James. And the 30-point performance, he was 10 of 14 from the field, 8 of 11 from the free throw line, got to the line. And look, let's just be serious here, right? LeBron, when he was getting to the hole, drawing and ones, he was imposing his will.
He was.
On the Warriors. The Warriors had no presence down low to stop LeBron, to stop Anthony Davis. They were getting to the rim at will.
Well, you saw what LeBron was doing, right? When Andrew Wiggins, when it was found out that he had that rib fracture injury, LeBron was just going at him.
He really was.
Andrew Wiggins was holding his own against LeBron before that, and I gotta credit to LeBron for exposing a weakness there.
Yeah.
So I mean, congrats. He had his first efficient game of the series. So he was bound to break out.
He averaged 24 points in the entire series. Go ahead, Alex.
I said it efficient. And you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. I said efficient.
And as good as LeBron's performances was in this final game, on the other end, it was just as bad as the Warriors for their shooting performance. It was, in that first quarter, it was just they could not hit a single thing. It was tough to watch at times.
And the Lakers were giving open looks.
They were, and it looked for a couple of those shots. I even said this to you when we were watching. It looks like when Clay was getting the ball on a couple of those open shots he had, it looked like he hesitated for a little bit.
Clay just doesn't look like the same guy anymore, man. And I think I put this in our group chat. I said, and I might have been a little bit harsh here when I said it, but I said Clay was washed. He just doesn't look the same. He was 3 of 19 shooting, 2 of 12 from three-point land, 8 points. 8 points in a game where they needed him the most.
I'm not saying ban him the rest of his career, but he should be banned one season or heavily fine suspended if he flashes four fingers at players next season.
Draymond Green didn't have the best performance either.
Oh no, I knew he'd be a Lakers double agent.
9 points for Draymond. Steph Curry, of course. He was the one that was carrying the team with 32 points.
He was the only one that was.
Yeah.
He did. He did not. He didn't shoot the ball from 3 as well as he should, but you could tell he was literally.
He was trying, man.
He was the best. He was the best overall player in the series.
And
the Lakers had better performances from their supporting cast.
Yeah.
And speaking of supporting cast for the Warriors, the one who stepped up off the bench was Dante DiVincenzo. He at least had 16 points, shot 50% from the field, 50% from 3. Tried his best.
Yeah, you also have to give credit to Kevon Looney. While he didn't score much per se, he was a monster on the glass, not only just in this Lakers series, but all playoffs long.
But but even before the game, and James, you're a LeBron fan, and I'm not gonna go completely against you on that. He is
one of the greatest.
He's a superb athlete. He's still
top 2.
He's still doing 20 points a game at 38, but. Just the comments on flopping, just flat out lying to the media, saying that he's never been a part of a flopping team. It's little things like that why he doesn't get as much love as you think he should.
It's a fair assumption.
It's like there's compilations. He did it.
Yes.
He did it a lot when he was on the Heat. So
That's okay.
continue.
Yeah, he flops a little bit. That's what happens. It's the nature of the game. He's not the only person who flops in the NBA. So let's just be clear about that.
No. But just saying that he doesn't, or he's never been a part of it in his career.
I've never claimed that. I've never claimed he doesn't flop. He does flop. I mean, look, the NBA is reminiscent to European soccer now. Dudes get touched and they freaking fall to the floor. Like, let's just be real. That's how the game is.
Yeah.
They try and draw fouls, and LeBron's part of that problem. So I will admit that. And he might have been one of the ones that, ushered in that era of floppy type of play. So, but yeah, nonetheless, the Lakers are advancing to the Western Conference Finals. They will be facing the Denver Nuggets starting Tuesday night. Game 1 in Denver. How do we feel about that series? The Nuggets, of course, Jokic, who's been an absolute monster, destroyed the Suns. The Suns had no answer for the Joker. The Nuggets are a deep team. I think they're pretty deep. I don't know if they have the dogs that can match up with LeBron and AD, though. I know Jokic can be out there, and Jokic can do his thing, but I'm talking defensively. I'm not too sure.
Defense stepped up in their series against the Suns. I heard quite a bit. And now there is one thing that I heard.
And Denver's also undefeated at home in the playoffs, too.
And there is one thing that I heard. For some people who consider Giannis to be the best in the league, who becomes the best when the best falters? And I would put my money on Jokic right now. He's shown that he stepped up defensively. His offense has always been great. It's never been the issue. And with the supporting cast he has, I don't see why they can't beat the Lakers.
They've been getting good production from their bench in the playoffs, as opposed to like what we saw from the Warriors and Grizzlies. So it's going to be a 6-7 game series.
I think so too. I'm anticipating a six game series at the minimum. And the one thing that concerns me about the Nuggets, and this is just my reptile sports brain thinking, it's not really that deep and analytical, but experience. This Lakers team, despite what you want to say, especially the top two in AD and LeBron, been there, done that. The Jokic's and the Nuggets roster haven't. And
the Nuggets have been in the playoffs for several years.
I'm talking about
now.
to the NBA Finals and winning a championship. They have not. They don't have championship pedigree like LeBron and Anthony Davis do.
LeBron and AD are the only champions on the Lakers
Well,
roster.
that counts as championship pedigree when your top two stars have been to the mountaintop and lifted a trophy. That counts a lot.
I mean,
experience.
The Nuggets do have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, former Laker, so there's pedigree there.
I mean,
I guess you could count that.
It's a fair point.
And
he's been really good.
Yeah, KCP's been playing pretty well. So
and the other question for me is who guards Bron? It's not who guards Anthony Davis, because I don't doubt that they'll be able to defend him decently.
Yeah, who guards Bron?
I mean,
Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter Jr.?
Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. have the physical traits, but I don't know if they,
if they have the defensive capability and IQ to do it.
361-882-5397.
At the same time, though, this ain't Bron from 2018 or when he was a
That's
Cav,
very true.
You could tell that he's not the same Bron he used to be. So,
I mean, what do you mean?
Come on, James.
Dude, you're 20 and he's dropping 39 and 9 in a closeout.
39.
39 and 9.
Oh, I thought you said 39 points.
No, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists.
LeBron used to be more consistent offensively, though.
Okay, we can argue his consistency. That's fine, but we know in a big moment he still has the capability to take over a game, which we saw on which we saw on Saturday or Friday night, I should say. I'm getting my days confused here. As they closed out the defending champion Warriors in 6 games. 361-882-5397. Do you think the Lakers are the favorites right now to win the NBA Finals? Can they beat the Nuggets? Let us know on the text line, 361-882-5397.
Real quick. I think you were downplaying how dominant LeBron used to be.
No. I know how dominant he was. We'll continue a little bit after the break, but when we do come back, we got some 920 news to get into. Our Lakers question, do you think they could win the finals? 361-882-5397. We'll be right back as the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Rush, 361-882-5397. It's James, Adin, and Alex with you till 11 a.m. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll talk Cowboys schedule release. I'll give you my thoughts on the Cowboys schedule. I might even give you a record. Ooh, what will the Cowboys finish in 2023? My super knee-jerk reaction to the Cowboys schedule coming up in 15 minutes.
We just made Sports Rush history. First bumper plate off the PC.
Look at us. Wow, we're so technologically sound back there. I love it. Way to go. KEYS, baby.
Yippee.
361-882-5397. Edward's in on the text line. This one, I'm going to read this, but it plays to the Keys fan base.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of red meat, if you know what I'm talking about. Edward says, LeBron saying he never flops is like the Biden administration saying the border is closed.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
KEYS. Get in on the text line.
Where's Bob Jones when we need him?
Yeah, where's Bob? Let's call Bob. Let's get his thoughts.
Better call Bob.
War Eagle is in here on Twitter. Shout out to War Eagle. He is back on Twitter. He says, at Sir Edward James, Bron is the Jordan of your era. I get it. I mean, I pull for Auburn, Texas, and UTSA, Raiders, and Cowboys. You do you, man. Okay, I will do me, War Eagle. And it's good to hear from you, War Eagle. Thank you for getting in this morning.
Yeah. Where's Favors? I haven't seen him in forever.
He's been missing in action. 361-882-5397. If you want to dive into the text line, go ahead. We will be talking more NBA playoffs later on in the show. Right now, though, let's go ahead and dive right into the 920 news.
There's a lot of news.
And now the news.
Interesting story out of Milwaukee, up in Weister's native Wisconsin.
Yeah, Weister.
Indeed.
Dodgers shortstop outfielder Mr. Do-It-All Mookie Betts. There was a story that came out earlier this week where the Dodgers went to go visit the Brewers for a series, and the Dodgers were staying at a hotel called the Pfister Hotel. And apparently, this is a famous spot in downtown Milwaukee. Mookie Betts, however, did not stay at the hotel. He opted to go to an Airbnb instead for the 3-game series. Now, you might be saying, why? Well, it's because this Pfister Hotel is notoriously haunted. So Betts believes that these ghosts, these hauntings, would affect him so much he did not want to stay at the hotel. Now, we've asked this question many times before. Ghost. Where are we at on Ghost? Apparitions, ghost. Anybody out there believe? Anybody out there seen? If you have a ghost story, 361-882-5397, hit us up on the text line.
I feel like that's more of a psychological thing that happens in your head. Like, it's just, you're in the dark, right? And any little, like, your mind starts playing tricks on you. I will say, though, there have been, stuff in the past here, but I'm not gonna go into that.
I knew you were gonna bring that up. Come on.
Remember James? Remember the white tent when you were coming back into the? You remember you coming back to the studio and I think you had Doug on the phone and you got freaked out and he had.
One of the many times I've been freaked out here in this building.
But as far as I need concrete proof,
so
I'm one of those. So.
This is what Mookie Betts had to say. He told the Orange County Register that he's been cautious in keeping his distance from the Pfister Hotel, quote, just in case the stories are true. In previous trips to Milwaukee at the Pfister Hotel, which was built in 1893, Betts said, quote, he couldn't sleep. Every noise I'd be like, is that something? Betts recalls. Now, Betts ain't the only Major League Baseball player to have complaints about this. Phillies outfielder Bryce Harper has also had an experience at this same hotel. This is a quote from Bryce Harper. When I woke up in the morning, I swear on everything, the clothes were on the floor and the table was on the opposite side of the room, according to Bryce Harper.
Okay, so both of these accounts are taken from people who are not normal mentally. So
okay.
Really?
Yes, Mookie Betts is a very interesting character. I don't know if you've seen all the clips that have gone around from him. He's very interesting. And then Bryce Harper is Bryce Harper.
Oh, hold on, let me put this on.
There we go. Perfect.
Bryce Harper has to be some sort of insane.
Now, for Bryce Harper's story, he says that the clothes were on the floor, the table was on the other side of the room. Maybe Bryce Harper just had some fun with the lady of the night and he just couldn't remember.
Wasn't he married?
I don't know if he was married back in 2013. This currently happened in 2013.
So he can't have that with his wife?
Yeah, what are you trying to say back there? Happy Mother's Day. Okay.
That was a good one.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe he got freaky with the ghost and he didn't know it.
Oh,
or maybe
paranormal activity stuff?
Or maybe he was...
Time out. We have had a WTF story in the past about ghost sex.
Yes.
If you don't remember that one.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. So, interesting story right there I wanted to bring up. 361-882-5397. Ghost. Hotels. Scary stuff.
Gosh, the X-Files is such a banger song, dude.
It is such a banger. You can go ahead and leave that music up. It doesn't really fit what we're about to do, but Jeremy Sochan won second-team All-NBA rookie. So that's pretty cool. He was on the second-team rookie squad for the NBA this year. Sochan was the 9th pick for the Spurs last year in the lottery. Pretty good note. I mean, look, that's awesome. I don't think the Spurs missed on Jeremy Sochan.
No, that was a hit. I mean, when you look at the draft that happened this year, there was a lot of really good talent. This is one of the more solid draft class that we've had in recent NBA history.
And speaking of the draft, we will find out on Tuesday night where the Spurs will be picking in the draft lottery. It's happening Tuesday night. We will finally find out if the Spurs will land the number 1 pick. I'm about to do a tankathon right now, live on the air.
I predict 5.
I'm going to hit the sim. Let's see where the Spurs land. Just one sim. 2, 3. Here it goes. Wow. Spurs dropped to 6.
6?
And
I didn't even know that was
according
possible.
to the tankathon, the Dallas Mavericks will have the number 1 pick.
That would be nuts.
That would be a worst case scenario.
You pair up Wemby with Luka? Oh, come on. That is nuts.
That would be a worst case scenario right there. We just did a tankathon simulation live on the air. The Spurs dropped.
They would extend Mark Cuban to a lifetime contract if that happens because of what they did, not playing out all their starters in that final game.
I mean, it's not going to make Luka lose any more weight than it is, so.
Okay, It still doesn't affect his play.
I need to
He's
lose
still
weight.
a dog.
I need to lose weight myself.
It's all right. We're all good. We're all good. So there we go. Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397. Ghost, do you believe in them? Let us know what's up. Do you have any freaky ghost stories to share? 361-882-5397. When we come back, we talk Dallas Cowboys schedule release, and we have some more fun. Stick around. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Sports Rush, episode number 116. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. James, Adin, and Alex with you till 11 a.m. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll dive into some Major League Baseball talk. We got some Astros news to dive into. We'll look at the MLB standings. Maybe even talk some Texas Rangers as they are still in first place in the AL West. 361-882-5397. We got War Eagle back in here. We were talking about ghosts and if you believe in them. War Eagle says, not ghost, but when I was 4 and getting out of line, Abuela had me convinced El Cucuy was coming if I didn't behave. Yes, El Cucuy, another creature, another, I don't even know how to describe what El Cucuy
is. That like a chupacabra?
El Cucuy is kind of like a...
Or like a Mothman?
Yeah, it's more of an urban legend monster, I guess you could say. El Cucuy, he could take many shapes and forms, a shapeshifter, so to speak. Typically lives in your closet or under your bed. Think about the psychological warfare your grandparents and parents were playing on you as a child, telling you that a monster was in your closet or under your bed if you misbehaved. Just think about that. Think about how scared that got you.
I used to do that to my brothers. The boogeyman's going to get you.
Yeah, when you're... Okay, so he says El Cucuy is the Mexican-Hispanic version of boogeyman. That's the perfect comp, I guess you could say. It's kind of like just a figment. It's just a being, some kind of... I don't even know. So, yeah, that's El Cucuy. 361-882-5397. Some quick notes that I didn't get to whenever I was waxing poetic about the Lakers going to the Western Conference Finals and LeBron dominating in Game 6. This comes from Nick Wright. At Get Nick Wright, the Fox Sports 1 personality. LeBron James ended the Pistons, ended the Celtics, ended the Big Three in Oklahoma City, ended the pre-Kevin Durant Warriors, and just ended the post-Kevin Durant Warriors. That's 5 iterations of championship-level teams over a 16-year stretch just wrecked by one man.
I would argue that the Warriors ended that OKC team, but that's here nor there.
Yeah.
LeBron beat them in the finals.
And I know, but
That's
they were
fine.
still contending years afterwards.
Just saying.
Nick Grice won. He was the originator of the biggest LeBron hopper.
Now,
Yes.
another stat.
There's one team he didn't end though.
Who?
The Spurs.
That's true. Did not end the Spurs, technically. Did drop, 37 points in Game 7
No, but
against
the
them.
Spurs came back and dominated him.
Yeah, but he did have a Game 7 where he just absolutely took the
this
Spurs
is
live.
what I mean.
What-
This
what
is what
is
I mean,
happening
Alex.
here?
He wasn't upset. He wasn't upset when the Spurs
He's
lost.
even trying to
Ray
make
Allen.
a case for the Spurs now, and you're still defending LeBron. What is wrong with you
I'm
right
just
now?
stating facts.
Wait, and what was one of the teams
Yes,
that
but you didn't have to.
What was one of the teams that you said?
Win. Right now?
Which Warriors team were you talking about?
The pre-Kevin Durant Warriors and the post-Kevin Durant Warriors. Pre-Kevin Durant Warriors was 2016 where he came back 3-1 and they won in Game 7. The block. Remember that?
He didn't end them, though.
It's funny because the same people that dog the Warriors, like LeBron fans, they always dog Kevin Durant. So it doesn't make any sense why it suddenly doesn't count that Kevin Durant was on the Warriors because you always dog him anyway.
Well, we'll talk about Kevin Durant here.
You always say that Kevin Durant's overrated and the Warriors are overrated. So why can't two overrated beings come together? Does that make them extra overrated or?
Are we talking about the Suns?
No, I'm talking about the.
Oh,
I'm talking
sorry.
About
I thought we were
I'm
talking
talking about the Warriors.
I thought we were talking about the Suns and Kevin Durant and Booker.
I'm
And
talking about the KD Warriors.
My
I mean,
bad.
if you want to make the argument for them, too, you probably can.
We'll talk about the Suns and how they failed miserably once again in the playoffs at 10 a.m. coming up, and I cannot wait to get into that. But right now, after that little LeBron note, I just wanted to get out there. Let's talk Cowboys, my other favorite thing to talk about here, because the schedule is out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my gosh. We finally know the order that the Cowboys will play in their 2023 season. Now, the schedule is out, and, it is what it is, right? This happens every year. Everybody is going to take a look at the schedule. Here we go, Cowboys. What are we going to be? Oh, Cowboys are going to go 17-0. Super Bowl, baby.
Let's go. Perfect season.
I already know all of your drunk theals out there are saying that on their Facebook page. Everybody's excited about the schedule release. So here we go. Cowboys open things up on the road against the New York Giants Sunday Night Football. All right, cool. Second week, they have the New York Jets at home. That's an intriguing matchup.
That is an amazing game.
I like that. That's an intriguing matchup. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets come to Dallas week 2. Week 3, they're at Arizona. Arizona's supposed to be kind of bad this year. They won't face Kyler Murray. He'll still be hurt. Week 4, you got New England at home. Okay, another pretty decent matchup. Week 5 and Week 6, the Cowboys are on the road for back-to-back primetime matchups. At San Francisco Sunday Night Football, and then at the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football.
I like the San Fran one more than the Chargers one.
That's going to be a nice stretch right there.
Yeah.
And then the Cowboys hit a bye. They got the Rams after the bye at home. Okay. And then they go at Philadelphia versus New York Giants, at Carolina, and then versus the Washington Commanders on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that at San Francisco, whenever Tom Brady's going to be their quarterback, it's going to be an intriguing matchup.
Ooh.
True.
I'm sorry. I know it's like a 1% chance he comes back, but the devil works its wonders, man. So I'm still leaving that open possibility that Tom Brady's going to be a Niner.
After Thanksgiving, the Cowboys face Seattle at home on Thursday Night Football. And then they got Philadelphia at home the week after on Sunday Night Football. And then they go at Buffalo and at Miami on December 17th and December 24th. So back-to-back at Buffalo, at Miami. They come back home to play a Saturday night game on December the 30th against the Detroit Lions on ESPN. And then they end the season at Washington. The strength of schedule is at 550. It's tied for the 4th toughest strength of schedule in the NFL. And the current over-under on the Cowboys is 9.5 wins.
I know it's too early to
It's
say.
come on.
I know it's too early to say, but I think the Lions are going to break through and win that division. Just for right now.
That's not really a hot take, to be fair.
Just because, I got to see. I think Jordan Love's going to take a year to get going. The Vikings, their defense is just absolutely garbage.
Let's just say Jordan Love's able to get it going right away. I don't think the roster around him is good enough to help them win.
Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he had an okay first season in Green Bay, but they didn't make the playoffs. It took Aaron Rodgers a year to get, things going.
I do really like that Lions prediction.
Yeah.
I think the NFL likes it as well because they have the Lions opening up the season at the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. That is the first game of the year.
I mean, the Lions, they added what they did. They did add C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the back end. That was their weakness last year, was their secondary.
They're getting good. I really like that. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup late in the season for the Cowboys. 361-882-5397.
As far as the Cowboys is concerned, though,
let me know. How many wins will the Cowboys have this year? 361-882-5397. Give me your win total for the Cowboys. The over-under is 9.5. Will they go over? Will they go under? Hit us up on the text line, 361-882-5397.
I'm going to say 10 to 11 wins.
10?
10 to 11, around there.
Okay. I said this, and I have it on my notes right here. I think the Cowboys get 11 wins. 11-6. I don't think that'll be good enough to win the division. I think the Eagles will be better than that.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys will be a wild card team
there
again.
There hasn't been a repeat winner since the Cowboys in 06 and 07.
Yeah, I know that.
It's just the Commanders aren't going to do it. And it's hard to see the Giants doing it. I mean,
Danny Dimes.
I'm not high on Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I just think that the coaching helped them out.
Yeah, I think Brian Dable absolutely. He put out a
and
coaching
also
masterpiece.
a healthy Saquon helped too.
Yeah.
Well, Brian Dable's still there. I mean, who can say? I mean, Daniel Jones could improve in year two under Dable.
I know the Eagles lost a few pieces on defense, but I really think that the Eagles strengthens their offense, and they replaced Miles Sanders with DeAndre Swift. So I think the Eagles' offense is not going to falter.
Yeah.
So if I were to make a gut prediction, I still think the Eagles win the division.
I'd have to agree.
I wouldn't say maybe not the number 1 seed, but they're still gonna. I still think they get like 12 wins.
All right, and that's fair. And like I'm saying, I think the Cowboys have 11. I think the Eagles win the division. I think it'll be a close race, but I see, as right now, my super knee-jerk reaction, rosters aren't even finalized. Cowboys don't even have a kicker. It's just, I think the Cowboys can win 11 games. Now, interesting notes. The Cowboys would probably be served with a fast start because they have 4 of their first 6 games on the road, and that's going to be interesting. Also, some other Cowboys tidbits on their schedule. They face 7 playoff teams from 2022. They have 6 primetime games. As I mentioned, 4 of the first 6 on the road before the bye, and 3 of the last 4 on the road to close the season. So, interesting right there. A lot of home games smushed in the middle of the schedule, but the first part and the last part, a bunch of road games.
And now, the NFL has been putting in some rules to make it to where primetime games are becoming better to watch. But looking at this Saints schedule, the primetime games they set up for them are not the greatest ever.
How many do they have?
We have 3.
Okay.
One of them's against the Panthers, which I don't think that should be a primetime game.
What is that, like Thursday night?
No, it's week 1. I'm pretty sure that's
SNF? No, that's the Cowboys.
It's a 6:15.
Oh,
which is bizarre.
Doubleheader Monday night?
That's my guess.
Okay, got you.
And then the Jags, which, I mean, okay. But then the final one is later in the season against the Rams. And now that would have been a primetime game maybe 3 years ago, but now I don't think so.
The Rams are going to be interesting because Stafford is looking healthy. I saw a video of him throwing, so we'll see how they are. They might be, kind of mid, I guess.
Here's my conundrum.
Go for it.
As much as I hate Brady, it is a little juicy to have a team I really hate. I don't like the Steelers, of course. I guess Steelers, Browns. I'm trying to find that
it's
team
easy
that
to pick on the Browns.
Now,
right
now that Brady's out of the NFL, Aiden needs a new person to
I
hate.
will say I didn't mind the Niners, but they've rubbed me wrong how they've been reacting to their loss against the Eagles. When
Yes.
it was their
Yes.
fault that they couldn't block the Eagles D-line, which got both of their quarterbacks injured.
Once again, 361-882-5397. Send us your Cowboys win predictions. Hit us up on the text line. Hit us up on Twitter at SportsRush1440 or at Sir Edward James.
Because here's this other conundrum. Normally, like teams like the Chiefs that are winning and they won 2 Super Bowls the last 4 seasons, normally I would be like, okay, I don't like them anymore. I don't want them to win. But I find Mahomes so likable, in my opinion.
I have
Hey, Andy Reid, who doesn't like Andy Reid?
That's yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to hate Andy. Hard to hate Andy Reid.
And they back it up on the field. Mahomes and Kelsey, I mean, they can talk as much as they want. They ball, dude.
I have no problems with the Chiefs.
Like, they ball.
I'm a Mahomes fan. Like, he's one of the guys I enjoy watching the most in this league. Obviously, I hate the 3 NFC East teams. I hate the Steelers. I hate the 49ers. That's about it.
I will say, if the Bengals, they're supposed to be a rival, but let's say they keep underperforming. I mean, I wouldn't say they underperform in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
let's say like they haven't won a Super Bowl yet after like 10 years, then I'll start probably hating them.
There we go. You want a quick Texans schedule note? Might as well throw Texans fans a bone here.
Another face us.
The Texans, every single game that the Texans have on their schedule, except for one game, is at 12 noon. Every single game except for Week 13 at the Broncos is at 12 o'clock noon.
There you go, Marcos, our resident Texas fan.
Nice. So that means I can watch some Texans football before the Cowboys play at 3 or the Cowboys play at 7. Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much the same for us. All of our games are at noon besides our 3 primetime games.
So there we go. Some NFL schedule talk. If you have some predictions, get in on the text line 361-882-5397. Give us your prediction for the Cowboys win total. Give us your prediction on how you think your NFL team is going to do. I want to hear from you guys out there. 361-882-5397. When we come back, we'll get your reactions, and we'll dive into a little bit of Major League Baseball talk. There's some big Astros news. We got to discuss it. Stick around. Sunday Sports Rush. Happy Mother's Day to all out there. Hope all the moms are having a good time. Moms, make sure you guys are doing nothing today. Absolutely nothing. Try to do your best to just relax and enjoy the day. This is a message from your friendly trio here at the Sunday Sports Rush. 361-882-5397. We were talking about Cowboys' schedule, some season predictions. We got Ryan L. on the text line. Shout out to Ryan for getting in. Ryan says 11-6 or 12-5 for the Cowboys, and they'll probably make the playoffs. Yeah, I'm about with you right there. I said 11 wins. Aiden had them at about 10 wins. I think 12 is probably the absolute ceiling, so that's fair, 11 or 12 wins. I think the Cowboys will have a decent team once again. Of course, a lot of things will be determined by how the Cowboys acclimate to the Mike McCarthy, Brian Schottenheimer offense. It's going to be a new scheme, allegedly. That's what they're telling us. And, of course, the post-Zeke era, etc. Brandon Cooks coming in. A lot of questions, not a lot of answers right now for the Cowboys.
And now, this is, I think, the first time in a long time that you guys are going to see me be optimistic about the Saints.
Whoa!
Really?
I can't deny, I can't see them winning less than 10 games with the schedule.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Okay. I like it. I like this.
The schedule is so weak.
I like optimistic Alex, because usually you are such a Saints pessimistic
It's
guy.
such a weak schedule. I just can't see them winning less than 10.
Alex, do you realize Sean Payton's not their coach anymore? They're head coached by Dennis Allen.
Have you seen our schedule?
It doesn't.
Now
It does matter.
Now this is.
I mean,
something,
okay, the NFC South is going to be the worst division again this year.
Exactly. And look at the
So,
other
I'll
divisions
agree
we
with you
play.
there.
We play the NFC North.
Okay.
And we also play the AFC South.
Now let me say this. This is what happens to us fans when we look at the schedule and we always say, "Oh, that's a win. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win." It happens every single year, and I'm guilty of it as well. The teams that we think are going to be bad, some of them are actually going to be good. Like, it just happens every year. The schedule is not how we see it. It's like an optical illusion right now. We're looking at it. We see the wins that we want to see, but I guarantee you some of those wins that you've already penciled in as a W will be L's. That's just the nature of the NFL. Some teams improve. Some teams, it's just, I don't know. But this is what we do as fans. And look, you're very optimistic, and I get it. The Saints have Derek Carr now. The Saints are kind of on the rise a little bit. The South looks like a weaker division now that Tom Brady and the Bucs are kind of, in a sort of rebuild with Baker and Kyle Trask and the rookie quarterback in Carolina, the second-year quarterback in Atlanta. I understand that there's a lot of optimism. Y'all guys have the most veteran quarterback in the division now, someone who can put up numbers. So I get the optimism for the Saints. I think they can win that division.
I have a prediction. I think the Falcons are going to be the worst team in the league.
Ooh.
And once again, that plays into my point of them at least winning 10. Because look at the other teams. The Colts, they're not going to be good.
You can get 6 wins in the division.
Exactly.
I want the. Here's the thing. This Arthur Smith, one of the
He's
draft
just horrible.
One of the draft prospects said that Arthur Smith found him boring in his answers.
Yes, it was Peter Skoronski.
What kind of coach says something like that straight up to a player like, you're too boring?
He said, quote unquote, you bore me.
But that's,
He said that to Peter Skoronski, you bore me.
I'm rooting for Arthur Smith's downfall. I don't care that his Titans office helped me win a fantasy championship. That's long gone now.
Hey, one of the most prolific offensive tackles to come out this year, and Arthur Smith's just looking at him like,
you bore me.
Yo, bro, you bore me, dog. Like,
And I feel bad
sorry,
for,
bro. I'm scrolling my Twitter right now.
And I feel bad for
You
Falcons
bore
fans,
me.
by the way, but I just want their downfall this year. I want just fire Arthur Smith, get number 1 pick, and then become a contender again.
361-882-5397. Get your takes in on the text line. We're with you till 11 a.m. We're going to go ahead, and we got some Astros news to discuss here. Let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of Major League Baseball talk, because it's been a while since we've talked Astros. We were off last week. The Astros have won 3 of their last 4 games, but last night they lost 3-1. Rafael Montero blew another situation late in the game. He has not been great. He picked up the L.
Dusty, okay, so he moves down to Abreu, right?
Yeah.
They need to get Montero out of the
setup spot, like the...
Yeah, like make Brian Abreu the guy, and then make Hector Neris 7th inning, Abreu 8th inning, Presley 9th inning.
Yeah, that's how it should
I know
be.
those guys need to have their off days. I know Montero was solid last year, but giving him that contract, he seems to not be pitching as well.
And you know who gave him that contract? It wasn't Dana Brown. Dana Brown wasn't hired yet, the current GM. It was
Crane and Bagwell.
Yeah, Jim Crane and Jeff Bagwell. Jim Crane, for a while, was flirting with making Jeff Bagwell the full-time general manager of the Astros, and thank the Lord that he did not, because Bagwell gave out the Jose Abreu contract and the Rafael Montero contract, and both look absolutely horrendous for the Astros right now, because Jose Abreu makes weak contact. He doesn't swing for power anymore. He's been such a disappointment at first base for the Astros.
Outside of Jordan and Kyle Tucker, the bats, man, they've been what? They're like 28th in the league.
I have the stat on my Twitter. I'll pull it up.
It's such a big change, because weren't we talking so highly of Abreu in like the first week?
The first week?
It's been a gradual decline as the season's gone on. Dude.
So I have the stats right here. The Astros are currently slashing a 238 batting average, a 308 slugging percentage, and a 364 OPS combined. That's 28th out of 30 lineups. Their 364 slugging percentage is 27th out of 30. Their offense is absolutely just crap.
And despite Montero's struggles, the rest of the pitching has been fine. They've been doing what they need to do. It's just, I think these Astros bats have been struggling against the pitch. I think it's the pitch clock thing.
And something is going on there because the
Astros, they're one of the teams that, they like to take their time and whatnot, the batter's box and whatnot.
Guess where the Astros are in the AL West right now? Out of 5 teams, guess where they're at?
They're 4th, right?
Yeah, 4th place. They are 4 games behind the Texas Rangers.
Which isn't a lot.
It's not a lot, but still.
And we're still very early
You're
on.
20-19, 39 games in the season. Yes, I get it. We're not even close to the halfway point of the season. We're about 1/4 of the season done. But still,
If they're still hovering around 500 by mid-June, then I'm like, okay.
Yes, that's when it starts to become a problem. And now keep in mind, the beginning of this season has been absolute chaos. We're starting to see things shake out to what we would expect to see in terms of normalcy. When you look at all the divisions, you're still seeing some of the chaos ensuing. Pittsburgh is starting to fall a little bit. They're not at the top of the division anymore. We're starting to see the Yankees pick it up a little bit. They're not at the bottom of their division anymore. And we're starting to see teams like the Phillies pick it back up. St. Louis still has yet to be seen. They're still way down there.
They're bad.
No, the St. Louis's pitching's been down. They're going to continue to be bad this year.
And we're also seeing the Diamondbacks not at the top of their division. They're starting to fall a little bit. So things are starting to even back out to what we would expect
kind
to
of
see.
Normalize a little bit.
Exactly.
The one thing I'll say is, though, the Rangers, and even Marcus has said this, the Rangers still have a bad bullpen.
Yes.
And the Angels still have a bad bullpen.
And,
so that's going to hopefully those
even out.
Those even out.
I don't expect the Rangers to be first. I don't expect the Angels to be second. I expect the Astros will be first or second by the time the season ends.
Now, positive news for the Astros. Jose Altuve is on a rehab assignment at Sugarland AAA, and it's looking like he's going to be back sooner than we know it. Michael Brantley, though, has been shut down due to shoulder inflammation. I don't think we're seeing Michael Brantley this year.
I think he's
done. I don't know if we ever see him in a lineup again for the Astros. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's done, dude. I think this injury, it's concerning. And he was reportedly swinging the bat, taking some batting practice, and then all of a sudden, Dusty Baker and company had to shut him down. And these injuries are just adding up to Michael Brantley. But, we might not see him again in an Astros uniform, but Altuve should be back hopefully in the next 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Thankfully, Corey Julks he's been semi-decent.
Joke smash.
He's batting 260, right? 270 or something around there.
Joke smash or Jokomaniacs?
Joke smash is better.
I did say, though, Brantley's going to be gone, and Corey Julks going to be the full-time starting left fielder.
I hope that's the case because he's been doing good, the rookie. I've been impressed with Mr. Corey Julks. So there we go. Little Astros report, little Major League Baseball talk for you. When we come back, though, we will dive right back into the NBA playoffs because Jimmy Buckets is in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we got a big Game 7 to talk about today. You're listening to News Talk KUIS. We're broadcasting live from the Americana Arms Studios. Big city selection, small town prices. Stick around. Hour 2 coming up. Good morning, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend listeners worldwide. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Sunday Sports Rush, right here on News Talk KEYS, 1440 AM and 98.7 FM. I'm James Espinosa. We got Aiden Ducker behind the glass.
I love Cougars.
We got Alex Weister in studio with us.
I've missed hearing that bump, man.
I know.
I love it.
It's so appropriate for Mother's Day.
Well, that too, but it's also just appropriate for Aiden in general.
Yeah, this is like the Super Bowl for Aiden today.
Wow.
It really is.
That is so true.
It
true.
really is a great day for Aiden back there. He's one of the most respectful guys I've ever met, though.
Famed woman respecter.
Yes, the biggest one in Corpus Christi, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm like the women's right activist of the station.
Exactly.
Of the Coastal Bend.
Yeah, Aiden is
all
all
of
about
South
it.
Texas.
He's all about it. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. We appreciate y'all listening on in. Hope everybody has a nice, great day celebrating and doing all that fun stuff and taking care of business. So we appreciate y'all being here. We got a quick note on the text line. It comes from Jim from Wisconsin, 361-882-5397. Jim from Wisco is in here. Good to have you back in, Jim. Jim says hello and welcome back, Alex. Dallas, New Orleans, and Baltimore all have the same over-under win totals at 9.5. Who of your 3 teams wins the most? Who has the most wins between Dallas, Baltimore, and New Orleans?
I need to go take a quick look at Baltimore's schedule because I haven't gotten a clean look at it. I mean, that's a tough one.
Well, that depends on Lamar's health.
That
Because
But-
Lamar has like a 7, like his winning percentage is in like the 70 percentile or something like that.
Yeah,
But
he's
this
really
is-
good when he starts.
But this schedule is just this might be one of the hardest ones I've seen all season. Like they got the Eagles, they have of course the Bengals twice. Titans are likely going to be a walkover for them. Lions, Chargers, Jags, 49ers, Dolphins. That's a tough schedule.
I'll just, off the top of my head, right? I'm not looking at New Orleans schedule. I'm not looking at Baltimore schedule, but I will say
Eagles were in the preseason.
on paper, I think the Cowboys are the best team out of all three. Just on paper. That's it. Not trying to say like, the Cowboys are the overwhelmingly favorite. I just think the Cowboys are better than New Orleans right now and better than Baltimore, depending on the health of Lamar.
The Ravens is always healthy. We don't even know if we get a healthy OBJ, but if this team is healthy, they should be a top 4 team in AFC.
Okay.
When the Ravens traded for Roquan Smith, that defense went from mid to like dominant.
Yeah, Roquan. That was a game-changing move for them.
They only had one.
Knew that as soon as it happened.
The only bad game they had, and like since they traded him mid-season, was against the Jags. All the other games they would hold opponents to under 20 points, and even that playoff game, they almost completely shut down Burrow in that offense. If it wasn't for that stupid fumble recovery, TD. I still hate you.
So there we go. Well, that was a pretty good question from Jim. We appreciate that, Jim. 361-882-5397.
Okay, I hate the strong word. I don't like Nick Huntley as a quarterback.
Nick who?
Nick Huntley.
Hunt.
Or Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley, I mean.
Okay, I thought.
Sorry. I'm getting confused because Nick Huntley.
Thought you said something else.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Got to pronounce that H.
But I'd have to agree. It's either going to be the Cowboys or Ravens. I don't see us having a better record.
361-882-5397. Good question, Jim. And thank you for getting in on the text line.
I need
Everybody
to
else
that,
get in as well.
That Dwight Schrute sounder when he just says, Jim.
Jim!
Yeah.
Or even a Tony Romo Jim would be a good drop as well. Let's go ahead. Let's dive right back into NBA playoffs because the Heat are back in the Eastern Conference Finals. They defeated the Knicks on Friday night, 96-92. We actually have the audio of the waning moments of the Heat clinching victory. Here it is, courtesy of ESPN.
41 points for Jalen Brunson. Strus gets it ahead. Here is Vincent. And that is it. The Miami Heat have done it yet again.
So the Heat are back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And man, Jimmy Butler, since joining the Heat, they've been to the NBA Finals. They are the first number 8 seed to go to the conference finals since 1999. The first play-in team to make the conference finals. And the third conference finals in 4 seasons for this Miami Heat franchise. Another spectacular note I would like to add is involving Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat. He's been the Heat head coach for 15 seasons. He's taken the Heat to the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 of those 15 seasons.
That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Remember when LeBron wanted him fired his first year in Miami, but Pat Riley was like, nope, he's a good coach.
LeBron, for all his greatness, has a lot of questionable general manager tendencies, I guess you could say.
We'll
digress on that. So the Heat, impressive, man. Jimmy Butler scored 24 points. We got to see that game, Alex, when we were sitting at the bar enjoying our beverages and wings. And, the Heat looked good. The Knicks had opportunities, but Julius Randle kind of just shot them out of the game.
It was tough to watch. It was like one of the first shots that we saw. It was a sidestep 3 from Julius Randle. And I think I said to you, that's not his shot. Has he ever shot that? Because it just doesn't make sense for him to do that.
The year he was an all-star, the year that he was averaging 20 a game, I think it was a couple of years ago, he was shooting threes like that. I guess they gave him the confidence to,
He just was not, he wasn't hitting any shots.
RJ Barrett, RJ Barrett, you're a third option. He's shown signs of flash, but he's so inconsistent, man. You never know what RJ Barrett you're going to get. You're going to either get the RJ Barrett that scores 25, you're going to either get the RJ Barrett that scores 5.
Yeah.
He shot 1 of 10 in the game clincher.
Now, I will say this, Jalen Brunson, for his first year in New York,
extremely impressive.
He solidified himself. He's a top star.
He's a dog. He's a baller.
Yep.
Mavericks missed him sorely. You saw
Big time.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the good news. I mean, it's always hard losing, in the playoffs. But the Knicks found their guy. He is their franchise player. They just need to now build around him and get the Knicks. I like the Knicks defensively, but they need to add a consistent wing scorer around him.
And talking about franchise and talking about Jimmy Butler, imagine if the Sixers would have chose Jimmy Butler over Ben Simmons those years back. Imagine, because he was there. They had it. But they chose to keep Ben Simmons instead.
Well, and Tobias Harris. It was either Simmons. It was either combo Simmons and Harris or Jimmy Butler.
And I'd still take Jimmy Butler.
Now, to be fair, Jimmy Butler wasn't the scorer that he is now, so maybe
But
I feel like
he's an X factor.
Yeah. I
There's
feel
something about him.
I feel like the Jimmy Butler that we saw in Minnesota, the Jimmy Butler that we saw in Philadelphia, Chicago. I think Chicago Jimmy is a lot similar to Heat Jimmy in that he was a scorer, but I felt like in Minnesota and in Philadelphia, he wasn't what he is now.
He was trying to find a team that would accept him and appreciate the leadership that he brings to a team and the X factor that he is when it comes around to playoff time.
So with that being said, the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, who will the Heat face? Well, today we got a big Game 7. It's Sixers, it's Celtics. It's going down at 2:30 on ABC. I mean, I know Jason Tatum had been crapping the bed the majority of the series, but he had an 18-point fourth quarter, which kept the Celtics alive and forced this Game 7.
Here's my thing. I did not want the Celtics to win that game and Jason Tatum get absolutely carried or his teammates bail him out. I'm glad that at least Jason Tatum was the one that made those clutch shots to get them that victory. But, man, did the Doc Rivers disaster class rear its ugly head. I don't know why they deferred from Embiid in the last few minutes of that game.
I want to see Embiid
James
succeed.
Harden, you've had a couple of really nice games this series.
Yeah.
But it was not your game. You were not feeling it. Embiid was the guy you needed to go to. They could not stop him most of the game, and he just wasn't getting his touches. I saw the entire fourth quarter, and it was really a Harden Maxey show. Either like shoot these weird shots or like I don't know, shoot these contested threes. Embiid needed to be the guy, and I think the Sixers blew a huge opportunity.
So right now, the Celtics are currently 6.5-point favorites at home to win Game 7. Let's go ahead and just kind of go around the table. Let's make some predictions. Who wins today's Game 7 between the Sixers and Celtics? We'll start with Weister.
For the sake of it, I'm going to go with the Sixers because I want them to win so badly. I want to see Embiid get to the conference finals, try and climb that mountain again and make it to the finals. Because every time they've lost in the playoffs, it's been heartbreaking. It's not been like a massive, massive sweep. It's been a heartbreak for them. Case in point, look at the Raptor series. That last shot from Kawhi, seeing him walking through the tunnel with tears streaming down his face. It's been heartbreaking losses for him, and I want to see them finally overcome it. And I want to see Doc Rivers finally coach a team to win a Game 7.
Go ahead, Adin.
James, you were heartbroken when Kawhi hit that shot because you were not a Kawhi fan at all after that.
Nope.
And it's fair.
Just the fact that that's gonna
be
replayed for generations upon generations of NBA fans. Like, you're just gonna see that. But as far as the Celtics and Sixers are concerned, the Celtics got absolutely embarrassed Game 5 at home.
Yes.
And I think they're going to come out with better energy, better focus.
And that's what I'm worried about.
Eliminations on the line. I think they're going to play better. The Sixers are going to give a fight, but I think they're going to be clawing their way back the entire game. And I think the Celtics win by 8 to 10. Give me the Celtics at home. No, it's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think the Sixers are going to – they're always going to hang around, but I just think the Celtics are going to come in prepared and more focused.
And I don't think it's going to be a player that loses the game for the Sixers. I think it's going to be, once again, Doc Rivers. I think it's once again going to be the coaching that will be the reason that they lose if they do.
I'll go with the Celtics winning as well. I think the Sixers obviously blew their best chance to close it out at home.
It was right there, Game 6.
I think that demoralized them, and I think the Celtics with TD Garden going crazy in Boston, everybody's going to be all riled up. Give me the Celtics to win, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some fishy officiating as the NBA is dreaming of a Lakers and Celtics finals.
At least you're acknowledging that. The Lakers get how many more free throws than the rest of the NBA? It was 100?
No, it was more than that. It was more like 200.
So
That's
see.
ridiculous, man.
We'll see what happens. 361-882-5397. When we come back, boy, oh boy, do I have a story to tell you. A spider, yes, a spider has been tormenting me these past 2 days. Alex and Adin bear witness to my testimony. I will tell you next how this spider almost derailed my entire weekend when we come back on the Sunday Sports Rush. Welcome back, Sunday Sports Rush. James Espinosa, Adin Ducker, Alex Weister with you. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll dive right back into the NFL. We got some headlines. We got some more scheduled tidbits to talk about in terms of the national big games that have been scheduled. Who's playing where to open the season? Who's playing across the pond in England and Germany? We'll give our thoughts on all that.
You're jamming out, huh?
Coming up in 15 minutes. Yeah, I kind of got lost right there.
You got lost. You're like, oh, wow.
Alter Bridge put me in a trance. So there we go. I teased right before the break that I am...
Oh, boy.
How a spider almost derailed my weekend and is still derailing my weekend. Now,
Derailed our
weekend. So let's get started on that topic because currently, listening audience...
X-Files bed, probably?
And if you have a solution to this, I am here for it. 361-882-5397. There is currently, right now... a spider, a palm-sized spider.
Come on.
No, literally, a palm-sized spider which has inhabited my vehicle, my car. And it's been in there for the past 2 days.
And is likely high on multiple different types of fumes.
Yes. So this is what happened. I get to the station around noon on Friday. Alex and I are preparing to head to McAllen to go cover the Carroll versus Sherryland Game 2. We are in the process of loading up equipment.
We were pretty much done.
Yeah, almost done. About to throw the last piece of equipment into the back hatch of my car, my SUV. When I opened the back hatch, out of nowhere appeared, and I quote, literally, a palm-sized spider on the top of my back row of seats. It was a goldenish, yellowish color, very long legs. I will say that. The one characteristic that really stood out was the long legs. And then it moved very quickly. I was shocked. I was literally like, what? Just taken aback. I didn't have nothing in my hands at the time to try and swipe it. It appeared that it was going to crawl out of the car, but then it made a mad dash back into the car. And
Underneath the back headrest, and then it dipped into the seat.
Yeah, it went into the crevices.
Disappeared.
Alex, did you see the spider the first time?
Barely.
Okay.
And so check this out. So Alex and I are there, and we have a 2.5-hour trip to the valley ahead of us.
Yeah.
And I'm just frozen because I'm thinking of all the worst case scenarios. I got 2.5 hours on the road. I'm driving. What happens if the spider crawls on me while I'm driving? Number one, I might freak out. I might swerve us into the damn ditch. I didn't want that to happen. Number two, we didn't get a good glimpse at the spider.
We didn't know what kind it was.
Exactly. So we don't know if it's poisonous or if it's just a harmless, type of grass spider. With that being said, we ended up stripping out my car. We took all the equipment, everything out. We shook everything out. we couldn't find the spider. And so, long story short, we decided to take Alex's car down to the valley.
Loaded it all up into the backseat of my tiny little Nissan Versa.
Yes.
And just 12 hours, if even, after I had a 7-hour drive down from Dallas, I had to drive us 2.5 hours down to the valley.
I felt so horrible about that too, man. But 361-882-5397, how do you handle a spider in your car? Have you ever had this situation happen to you? Please, I need some kind of home remedies. I need something. If you know somebody out there who can get rid of this for me, hit me up on the text line.
But that wasn't the end of the story, us going to the valley and coming back. When we got back, we come here to the station, and of course, we had no idea if the heat had killed it or whatnot. So we open up the car, and James sees a spider web around the area where his son's car seat is.
Well, don't exclude me out of this.
I know. We were, all three of us were looking.
Yeah, I had just ran the Babylon radio show.
Yes.
Tune in on Saturdays.
And so
10 a.m.
After that, we open the trunk, and we see a part of a web in that under compartment in the back of your car.
Yes.
And we're looking around. We can't find it. And then just out of nowhere, Aiden screams because he sees it. And before I can see it again, it had scurried into a compartment that led to the inside of his trunk, where it is likely still residing as it's either baking or getting high off of multiple different chemicals.
So I was messing around with the car seat, right?
Yes.
And I saw, I was like, okay, maybe the spider's hanging around here. And then we went to the back, and I was just like, whoa, there it is. Like, I didn't scream like, ah, but I was like, whoa.
Yes, you did not scream, but you were definitely taken aback.
It had to have come from the side door. Y'all briefly were not looking at the car when this happened. It was just perfect timing that I was the only one to see it, and so it's an SUV, and so it's a trunk. The trunk door is up, and it literally crawled in the hole where we're like the air hose. It's like the air hose whenever that comes from the car to help slow down the trunk door and whatnot. It caught in one of those holes.
So what we end up doing is we know it's in the hole. We tried to spray some Armor All in there to kind of get it out. It did not come out. So we decided to get some tape, and we taped up all the holes on the hatch trunk door that I have. And ever since then, I have had no signs of the spider. Now, yesterday afternoon, I bought some spray that is safe. It's like a natural kind of herb stuff, and it kills spiders, roaches, ants, all that stuff. I doused the inside of my car in that. I wake up this morning, I look in there, and I kid you not,
what happened?
I found another little string of web
inside the vehicle.
Oh boy!
What was that?
I'm not sure.
Possible.
I'm not
was
sure
old
if
web.
I mean, dude, it's like a string of just silk. I mean,
But like I say, is it possible it's old web?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if we missed that yesterday.
Here's the thing.
Or if that's the new web.
These bugs, even though the spider's big, they know how to get through the smallest of crevices.
Yeah. And this is probably the most lucky spider or any sort of critter that I have seen in my life, because somehow it manages to find a way to get away.
I've been saying you need to fork. You probably have to fork up some money and get an exterminator, or even take it to a mechanic shop. Have them open the
take the entire skeleton off of the car.
Just take my car apart like a Lego or what?
Yeah,
like a Lego car. Just disassemble the whole car.
Like there are mechanics that they've probably long season mechanics have probably had experiences with with pests inside a vehicle.
But this is my worst nightmare because
you want to protect your son, Ramsey.
Yeah, I want to protect my son.
Brittany,
yeah, exactly. And yesterday I had to drive the car back to my house, a 15-minute drive from the station. White knuckle ride, sweat dripping from my brow.
And you're going to have to take it, right?
Every little piece of thing that I felt, I thought it was the spider. I felt like things were crawling on me when I was on the way home. Guys, I need your help out there. Anybody.
He's not actually scared of the spider. It's just his fatherly instinct wanting to protect his child from the spider.
Yeah, I mean, he is scared either way.
Yeah, yes.
But so there, I wouldn't say that, but you are, as a father, you're worried for your
Yes, I'm just worried.
and husband. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
worried.
yeah, I'm just a little bit
husband?
worried.
Wait, what?
No, I said as a
I am a
father,
husband.
as a father and husband. That's
Okay,
what
but Aiden, you saw the spider, and be
and
honest.
I swear to all mothers on Mother's Day.
How big was the spider?
It was
Be
about
honest.
The size
That's
of a
bold
palm.
one.
Size of your palm, right?
About the size. Yeah, you could hold it. It might in the legs. spread
Legs are
out,
very long.
Might even spread out like to your hand.
Ryan L's in here. Ryan L says, sounds like a big garden spider. They look scary, but they're harmless. They get rid of mosquitoes, flies, fleas. They get in my vehicle sometimes. I usually just let them live and ignore them if they're not poisonous. That's the thing, though, Ryan. We don't
There
know.
was like 3 flies in the car, and it didn't get rid of any of them.
But we don't know if it's poisonous. That's
We
the
don't
scary
know
situation.
because I looked at brown recluse pictures, and it does look a little bit similar.
Godly.
But brown recluse are supposed to be smaller than that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was saying.
So, but we if we knew what it exactly was, then James could have a little bit of a peace of mind. James, you probably still want it out of your car, though.
I
anyway.
want it
of
out.
course.
I'm not going to rest until it is dead, until I see a body. I need to see a body.
Jesus.
Help me out there. 361-882-5397. How do I get rid of this spider in my vehicle? For the love of God, help me. When we return, I don't know how we're going to transition, but we're going to talk some NFL when we come back. Stick around. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Help me! Welcome back, Sunday Sports Rush, episode 116. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. I'm currently dealing with a spider in my car, and it's tormenting me. Another side note from the story that I didn't get to, when we were in the valley, as I was resting my head on my pillow before I went to sleep in the hotel room, I shared this in confidence with Alex, but I'll bring it to the air because this is what I do for you guys. I told Alex
Your pain is the listeners. Let's just say that your pain is the listeners' enjoyment.
Yes. I told Alex the last thought I had before I went to sleep on Friday night was the spider. And then I even had a nightmare where I was on a giant spider web, like I was the food of a spider.
Okay, now you didn't tell me that.
Oh.
You didn't tell me that.
This thing, it's physical versus mental right now. And right now, it's rent-free in my head. I am just consumed with all fear of this spider. 361-882-5397. Please, if anybody out there has a solution on how to get rid of this spider in my car, I am open to all suggestions. I will not rest until I see a body.
Don't watch Harry Potter: The Chamber of Secrets, and don't watch the third Lord of the Rings film, The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Annette's in here. Shout out to my mom. Annette texts in. She says, laugh my ass off, crying emoji face. I'll go get it. Come on, Mom. Please.
Your mother is tougher than you. I can say that for a fact.
My wife, Brittany, yesterday was out there with me while I was spraying down the inside of my car, and she had a big broom. She was ready. She was ready to get it.
Brittany completes you. She's also tougher than you.
Also, so check this out. We do have some breaking news we got to get to. So,
Yes.
Aiden, get that breaking news sounder ready while I tell this quick aside. I have a cat, a house cat. And one of the things that I'm thinking is I could of course, I'll turn on the car with air condition. I'll put my house cat in my car and see.
Don't do anything.
Dude, cats eat spiders.
I've never seen that.
That spider is about the size of that cat's head.
My cat's big. You've seen Mocha.
No, but
I haven't, I don't think.
No, you went over to my house pre-Mocha.
Oh, so you got it recently?
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw my cat in there for an hour with the air condition on and see if the cat can, hunt this thing out. Cats are predatory. I don't know. We'll see. I'm that desperate. I am that desperate. 361-882-5397. Let's get back to the sports. We have some breaking news. Go ahead, Aiden.
Breaking news.
This comes from Shams. Shams is out here. He's reporting that Ja Morant has been suspended from all Grizzlies activities after the Memphis star was seen flashing an apparent gun in a recent social media video, which was popping around the internet late last night and currently right now as we speak.
That was no apparent gun. That was a gun.
The Grizzlies have suspended Morant from all team activities pending NBA review. NBA spokesperson Mike Bass says, quote, "We are aware of the social media post involving Ja Morant and are in the process of gathering more information." Ja did it again.
I mean,
what in the hell is wrong with this young man?
I guess he thought, oh, it's the offseason, I can flash my gun again.
he's not going to learn, and it's clear. I don't know what it's going to take, and God forbid, I hope it's not getting him out of the league, but it's clear he's not learning.
Okay, so James, you're an expert in this. So I'm gonna go to you because this is what you studied in and whatnot.
Okay.
Is it possible he has some sort of condition or something like that?
I mean,
is it possible?
I
mean, he could be just dumb, but
he could have possibly. Now, of course, I'm not diagnosing him, but
no, you can't diagnose. But
I'm not going to diagnose, but he might be emotionally disturbed is the correct term, which, maybe had some childhood trauma. I don't know. I don't know his life story. I don't know why he's acting out like this, but there's something going on with Ja Morant as he flashed another gun on an Instagram Live.
Memphis is becoming a not so great area, and I feel it's not helping the situation in the slightest. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think he's just being stupid.
I mean,
all honesty.
I was even in 2021 when they lost the Warriors. I was impressed with the Grizzlies team, but I'm selling my stock on them now.
I think he's just one of those people that is destined to have some character issues at this point. That's how it feels, and you would have never guessed that when he came into the league. He did not seem like a person that was going to have those sort of character issues, but lo and behold, here we are, and it's not looking good.
And here's the issue: we have a really bad issue with guns in this country.
Yes.
I'm not going to go deeper than that, but I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, basically. And
case in point, the first time, because the first video that we saw of him was also on top of the threats he was making towards a teenager.
And don't forget about his crew allegedly pointing guns at the Indiana Pacers bus.
My issue is that he's going to flash his gun at the wrong person, and it's going to end badly. This happened like a month ago, but there was this rapper out of Houston or something like that, and he and I'm going to bring this up because I feel like it's important to this story. But he goes and he posts I think he got shot up or he got attacked, but I think he survived and I think he defended himself or something like that. He posts a photo of the crime scene, like he basically bragging, "Hey, I killed these guys."
From what I found, he wasn't even the shooter; it was his girlfriend.
Yeah, and he posts that photo.
Same day.
Okay, so he posts a photo that morning. Somebody puts a hit on him and he gets killed. Because he posted that photo online.
There's already people here on the internet. I'm scrolling through my Twitter.
I'm worried that Ja Morant's gonna flex on somebody, and it's gonna end horribly. That's what my main concern is.
That's obviously a concern. There's people on the internet, and of course, Twitter is so fast, but they're calling him Ja Wick. Jesus.
But here's the thing, like,
good Lord. It's not. I mean, that's funny, but what he's doing, come on, man.
No.
I'm not gonna go into it, but I knew somebody that was close to me, and James and y'all know about this, but sometimes when you hang with the wrong people, bad things happen, and I'm I'm deeply concerned. I'm not even gonna joke around about this anymore. I used to kind of, play around with this, but now it's become really ridiculous.
Yeah, so. This is just crazy. So Ja's suspended once again for flashing a gun on his Instagram Live after he was previously suspended, after he took time away to, quote, go and learn from this incident. Yeah, man, a little disappointing that one of the league's youngest superstars and someone who had the potential to be, the next great American basketball player, someone the league can build their, all their marketing and everything around. Just, it's disappointing to say the least. And it is what it is.
And keep it in mind, there is still time. He's very young in his career that he can turn it around. But this is going to be a situation where if he is to clean up his act and stay clean for the rest of his career, build on his success that he's had early on, and have a successful career, this will be something that people do look back on and sort of say tainted his career.
And then for those of you, and I'm pretty sure most of you, not all of you, agree with what we're saying, but the reason why the NBA is so hard on this is the Gilbert Arenas Javaris Crittenton locker room gun incident, and then Javaris Crittenton, not too long later, ends up murdering somebody.
Yeah, man. It's just it's one of those things in the league. Of course, I'd say the NBA. And look, I don't want to dive politically into this, but to me, the NBA skews left. You know what I mean? With how they kind of handle things. I think Adam Silver does a little bit.
He's a very player-oriented. David Stern was more. David Stern had more of like the iron fist, he.
But I just think it's the league is saying, look, it's a bad look for one of our superstars to be flashing guns on Instagram Live, and I really do think that's just the bottom line about it. It's just a bad and horrible look for Ja Morant. So Ja Morant suspended from the Grizzlies. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the NBA imposes some kind of long-term suspension. Who knows? I mean, if Adam Silver really wants to make a statement, then this would be the time to do so and make an example out of Ja Morant. Maybe suspend him for half a season.
I have to agree with the state of the U.S., with everything that has gone on in terms of guns, the debate around it. You can't have a player acting like this. It's plain and simple. It's not just the fact that we've seen players historically not get hit with that heavy of discipline. I think it's time to really make a stand and show that this is something they take extremely seriously and can't be messed around with.
I mean, I'm not going to get into this at all deeper, but like what I saw on Twitter in regards to Allen shooting, it really the shooting in Allen, it really shook me up, man. Yeah. And now I'm very serious when it comes to gun issues now. I wasn't already serious about it, but I mean, if you want to own a gun and you're responsible,
go for it.
That's your
right.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like every gun owner should say that we don't want guns in the hands of irresponsible people.
Yeah.
And while he didn't shoot at anybody, he didn't point the gun at anybody this time, it's the fact that you're flashing it on video is irresponsible in itself.
Yeah, just absolute insanity. So that's the breaking news this morning. Ja Morant suspended by the Grizzlies. The NBA, of course, will be investigating this incident of Ja Morant flashing a gun once again on Instagram Live. Wow, that kind of took over the whole segment, but it's all good.
It's breaking news.
We usually are like savage and we joke around here and there. I'm the one that usually jokes around a lot, but every now and then you gotta get,
of course.
Gotta get serious.
Gotta get serious a little bit.
Gotta tell it how it is, man.
And of course, there's not much for the NBA to review. It's on video. I think the reviewing part is going to come with what sort of fines or punishment they want to give out, because we're in a new age of society.
In my opinion, you have to hit him in the wallet, and you have to take away his ability to play the game for him to actually learn, if he will actually learn. Then again, you could say, well, if you take away the ability for him to play and not be around the team, then that's going to give him more opportunity to hang with his friends. And so I guess there's a catch-22 with that as well.
At the same time, though, it shouldn't be the NBA's responsibility to watch out for what Ja Morant does.
You're a professional. Act like a grown man.
The NBA should set an example, suspend him.
Exactly.
But
and to that point,
the NBA shouldn't baby him off the court.
Exactly. And to that point, if he is to have time off and quote-unquote go spend more time with his friends, that is time for him to show that he is changed and not get into any more of this trouble.
I think that is a great way to wrap up this segment. If you just tuned in, breaking news, Ja Morant suspended once again for flashing a gun on Instagram Live for the second time in the last 3 months. 361-882-5397. Weigh in with your takes. We got one more segment with you left. It's going to be a sports grab bag. We're going to talk about a variety of things. So make sure you stick around. It's the Sunday Sports Rush. Sunday Sports Rush, episode 116. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Reacting to the news, breaking news that just occurred a few minutes ago. John Morant suspended once again for brandishing a gun on an Instagram live video for the second time in the past 3 months. See what happens. NBA is reportedly going to be investigating. He was suspended 8 games last time. What do they do next? 20? 25? Who knows?
I don't think it was a set suspension.
Well,
I think
he missed 8 games.
It was sort of a what it felt like to me was they suspended him. I think it was indefinitely.
Yeah.
And then it felt like they were just trying to buy time until the playoffs came around. They were not going to hold him out for the playoffs. It just wasn't going to happen. There was no way.
No, I agree. All righty. Well, we're here. We got about 10 minutes left with you. Let's go ahead and do a sports grab bag. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's get to the text line real quickly because George is in here. And he has a remedy to my spider dilemma. I have a spider in my car who has inhabited my vehicle, and it's quite frankly tormenting me to no end. George D is on the text line. 361-882-5397. George D says, good morning, guys. Spiders need water. Place a small bowl of water in your car with a little dish soap. It works. Great show. You guys rock. Would it work?
Doesn't hurt to try.
But if it needs water, I'm going to be giving it water with
But that's
dish
why I
soap.
said the soap.
Would the soap kill it? That's my question. I mean,
can't
if
just-
George D says it works, it doesn't hurt to try, like you said.
I mean, what sort of creature do you know that can ingest soap and live? Soap's not meant to be ingested, James.
Here's the thing, though. When James left his vehicle, it had rain, so the spider had plenty of water for it to drink outside.
Yeah.
And it might rain again today.
If it went outside, why did it go back into the vehicle?
Because it's made a home in there.
it was already outside of the vehicle.
No, but all you need to do is just go underneath the vehicle and hop back in. There's holes underneath the vehicle.
God, this is the
We're
worst.
We're talking about this thing like it is human at this point.
Okay, so I have a theory that if I take my car through the car wash and then vacuum it and everything, maybe,
That spider.
or if I take my car to go get detailed professionally,
And let the detailer get the spider bite.
not even tell them about the spider.
Oh, come on. You got it.
Do I have
No.
to?
No,
you don't.
You don't have
It's not
to.
a dead body.
Yeah. Just be like, hey guys, if anything pops out while you're washing the car, can you just let me know? Nothing to worry about, I promise.
But you would give him a tip on the side, right?
Yeah, nothing to worry about, I promise, guys. Just like, especially in the back trunk area, just can you kind of
They'll
let
get
me
a tip
know?
if they find it.
Yeah, a bounty. I'm placing a bounty.
Was like, we're Fortnite now.
$100 to anybody who can get that spider out of my car. 361-882-5397. $100 cash.
You are stepping on a horrible line here because you are going to get many people trying to fix it now.
A bounty is on its head.
You're flexing your soprano muscles.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I need my capos out there.
A shade of Walter White.
Yeah, I'll do it. Come on. Let's go. My mom's texting in again. My mom says I'll suffocate the spider. All right. Thanks, Mom. Mom, I don't want you doing
Strangle it.
anything on Mother's Day.
Strangle the spider.
Okay. Craziness. Well, thank you guys for getting in this morning. We appreciate it. 361-882-5397. So, here we go. Sports grab bag. Let's go ahead and do that. Update on Zeke Elliott. Reportedly, the Buccaneers are a tad bit interested in Zeke.
Fair.
Jeremy Fowler of ESPN reported he was told that the Bucs are, quote, looking for a running back 2 behind Rachaad White. Rashad White, excuse me, and added that Zeke could be an option for them. Also, Jeremy Fowler reported a return to the Cowboys is also, quote, still an option for Zeke.
I don't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
Didn't they also say the Bengals?
No, that was
Bengals was rumored.
that was part of Zeke's wish list.
Yeah, wasn't the Jets on there too?
It was Bengals, Jets, Eagles. That was the teams that Zeke's camp put out there saying.
What about the Saints, Alex?
Yeah, what do you think?
We don't need him.
Kamara's having legal issues.
Have you seen our running back room? We do not need him. We just drafted Kendre Miller. We just signed Jamal Williams. We still
that's
have
right.
Mark Ingram.
I forgot about Jamal Williams signing.
And until something happens with the legal issues, we have Alvin Kamara.
Well, Joe Mixon is also in trouble as well, so maybe the Bengals.
But they also don't have as deep of a room as we do, because I don't think they brought back Samaje Perine.
Interesting. So we'll stay updated on the Zeke situation right there. We have Edward in on the text line. He's commenting about the Ja Morant situation. He's drawing a parallel to someone who he knew who got in trouble in a similar situation. So I'm going to read the comment from Edward, 361-882-5397. Edward says, I knew a coworker that always played around with a knife. Then he stabbed and killed a member of the USA boxing team in a club in Corpus Christi about 27 years ago.
I mean, yeah.
So kind of drawing parallels like, hey, this guy always played with a knife. He ends up stabbing and killing somebody. Hey, Ja's always flashing a gun. Not saying that Ja's going to kill somebody, but, you know, slippery slopes.
I could absolutely see it happening, though.
Goodness.
I could absolutely see it. When you're that careless, waving around a firearm like that, it's clear that it's pretty much just like a toy to you at that point. Unless he's just trying to play tough, then in that case, I'm even more worried about it.
Crazy. So 361-882-5397. The Suns fired coach Monty Williams after 4 seasons, after the Suns got blown out once again in an elimination game.
Yeah.
Monty Williams, of course, took them to the NBA Finals a couple of years back, but back-to-back postseason losses, back-to-back years, getting blown out by the Mavericks at home in a Game 7, getting blown out the other night by the Nuggets in a Game 6 at home. So it sucks that Monty's gone, and I know that we don't have a lot of time to really discuss about it.
I feel like it's the new owner wanting to have his own.
Yeah.
Just trying to find an excuse to get rid of him.
Matt Ishiba.
Yeah, but he probably wants to bring his own guy to coach the team, you know.
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
A lot of Coach of the Years recently have been fired, except for Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Bud got let go. Nick Nurse got let go.
And this honestly, this happens a lot in hockey and in NHL. Like you can lead a team, you know, deep in the playoffs, and then on early playoff exit, and you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. You're just
this happens more often in hockey. It's just happening recently now in the NBA.
Can I read a tweet from PFT commenter?
Go ahead.
PFT commenter is commenting, of course, on the Ja Morant situation. And look, take this as a comedy bit, as a parody.
That's
right?
usually how they are.
PFT commenter says this: massive credit to Ja for going almost 3 months without pulling out a gun on Instagram Live. Let's celebrate the progress instead of tearing a young man down.
I mean,
I get it. It's kind of funny right there. It's a little funny. Like, oh, you went 3 months? Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can we go 4 months next time? Can we go 5, Ja? Before you pull out a gun on Instagram Live? Awesome. Awesomeness right there. Well, show is wrapping up. I got to deal with a spider today. So that's going to be my situation. George, I am going to try your water and soap idea. I think that's actually kind of brilliant.
Worth a shot.
It's worth a shot at this point. I am desperate for help here.
Are you going to invest in like a cam, like inside the vehicle?
I was actually thinking about putting a camera in my vehicle to see if it pops out at night, or like just to catch it. You know, we'll see what happens. But we appreciate everybody out there for getting in this morning. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, all the mothers. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Episode 116 is in the books, and we'll be back next weekend. Aiden, hope you have a great day today, man.
Hey!
What?
Yeah.
And good job as well. Alex, hope you have a great day, and good job as well, man. So for Aiden Ducker, Alex Weister, I'm James Espinosa. That wraps up the show. Happy Mother's Day once again. We'll be back next week for episode number 117. No more questions. We'll talk to you next week.